Next, let's take a look of our Cube R1, the NDI recorder here. So from the NDI Recorder front panel, you can see we have the touch screen display as well as some of the physical buttons, and also we got 2 SSD slots to insert the SSDs for recording. So let's first take a look of the touch screen here. So with the touch screen, we can easily see there are some basic displays. If we for example, if we select the layouts, we can select either 1 or 4 or 9. So if we select 9, then we can, of course, you can add a video signal here. So there will be automatic search all the available NDI sources in the network, and then we can easily select anyone into the recording list. Here, as we have already added several video sources, then probably I will just switch back to the 4 window display. So very easily we can preview all the video sources, while at the same time there will be the numbers and also some of the basic information displayed here. So if we click here with the settings, we can easily enter into the recording setting options, and with this you can see there will be different options for transcoding, the NTP server, and also schedule to start or schedule to stop. With the transcoding option, as I previously mentioned, our Cube R1 is the only unit that we can support the original codec recording. So that means if we have the full NDI input, we can record the full NDI, and if we have NDI tracks in, we can record NDI tracks. So here we also give you the option to transcode. So that means if you have the full NDI in, then you can choose either full NDI recording, or you can transcode it with H.264 or H.265 to save some of the spaces. But this can only be done with one channel every time. While also in the settings, you can see we will have the storage policies to save the videos to different disks. We can choose the disk 1 or disk 2, as we here have 2 SSDs insert. And also we can divide the videos according to, for example, the fixed file size or the fixed time duration. So there will be different strategies as well. And also for network settings, we can see the basic bandwidth, and also if DHCP is enabled, all the basic informations. And for system, of course, we can select the system, the device name, the language, and also your locations, time, areas, and all those basic information. And most importantly, we can directly upload the firmware here, and then we can directly upgrade the device, or we can also restart or restore to factory settings, or we can turn off the units. So let's go back and show you how we can start and stop the recording. So if, for example, if we already finished the layouts of all those video sources, then we can directly press this button, record. So after long press, about 3 seconds, then you can see all those status will be displayed. So they will be showing it's recording in process, and at this time, if we want to touch the screen, then we can enter into the playback while recording status. So that means while recording will not be stopped, and then you can preview all the videos while at the same time you can play back. So either we can use the touch screen to play back, or forth, or we can also use here to select the speed to play back. So either we can go slowly, or we can go faster with different speeds. And if we go back, then you can see recording is still moving on, is still under progress. So if we want to stop the recording, then also we can press this stop button for about 3 seconds to stop it. So after the files are stored, and then we can click here to play back, where we can select the file we stored here. So for example, here, that's the video we previously saved. And then if we click this file, then it will play back. So with the playback, same as I previously showed you, either we can touch the screen to go backward or forward, or we can select the speed to playback, while at the same time, as previously we mentioned, the unit can be work as a kind of slow motion device. So with the scroll wheel, we can easily go as accurate as every frame. So if we go backwards or forward, then we can control it very easily. And also we can stop or pause the replaying. So that's very convenient to do. As previously, we also mentioned when we designed the Cube R1, we actually have quite a lot of the details designed with the unit to make sure all the recording will be reliable and also the recorded files will be saved safely. So for example, actually you can see there are two switch locks to make sure the SSDs will be locked to security, and when we start the recording, we will need to detect the status of the lock. So right now you can see the locks are actually in the lock status, and if I start the recording, for example, then record will be started. But for example, if I operate this lock to the unlock status, then actually the file will be, the recording status will be stopped and also the file will be saved. So let me show you, unlock it. And then it will show the lock switch is stopped, and then actually the files are now recording to save the files even before you take out. And here actually this is the back panel of the Cube R1. So here you can see we have the redundant power supply design to make sure this unit can work reliably. And also there are cooling devices to make sure the units will also work reliably even after a long time running with the temperature going up. And also there are the Ethernet ports to, of course, that's for the Ethernet parts. This Ethernet is the 1 gigabit network, and also we have two SFPs to make sure we can have more bandwidth with up to 10 gigabits. And also you can also see there are two ports, the USB as well as the HDMI. So with the USB, very easily we can connect with your keyboard, your mouse, or any of the other functions to make sure you can easily operate the units. While also with the HDMI, then we can connect to the displays to make sure all the small displays, what's the showing on the small displays can also be expanded or connected to the big display. Now let's take a look of our Cube R1 web interface. Like all of our other encoders and decoders, you can also easily get access to the web UI through the IP address. And here you can see the Cube R1 web UI actually is quite simple and very clear. So from the home page, you will preview all those NDI sources, same as our Cube R1, the recorder software, or what we previously see from the small display. We can display the video sources according to the layout, and also we can preview the NDI sources as well. And if we want to start or stop it, we just use these buttons to start or stop. And also for all those status, the NDP server, and all those settings, you will be very similar like our NDI Recorder software. And for the source management here, same, we can easily automatically find all the available NDI sources here. Or another point is the different feature is we will be able to manually add the video source with different name, either automatic discover or manually add, and also we can add the group and all different information there. And there will be playback menu. So you will see there will be disk 1 or disk 2, and also the channel list with different video sources. So if, for example, if we choose disk 1 and we select one of the channel, then we can definitely see all the files saved here. Currently, the preview function for if it's full NDI, currently it's not supported to preview, but we will be able to download the files of course, you can save it, and further for any editing or whatever will be available. And of course, here on the right corner, we will be able to, the downloading was finished. And then we will be able to set the language, also the basic, the password, the recording settings. You will be able to schedule the recording, schedule to start, schedule to stop, or the transcoding as previously we mentioned or explained, it's the same. And also we can log out the unit. So that's all the information about the Cube R1.